So, Gene, when you say 73 ships awaiting, I mean, every time we've spoken with you over the last several months, that number's gone higher and higher. I remember thinking it was a lot when it was 40 ships out there. Now you've got 73. So even with all of these additional measures, even with people really bucking up, it's getting to be more and more of a backlog.
It is, but here's an interesting stat, Becky. 23 of these ships are our regular callers, 10,000 container units and above. Those are the workhorse vessels traditionally in the Trans-Pacific trade. The balance 50 ships are smaller than that 10,000 TEU size and represent many of the 10 newcomers to the trade this year, plus at least a half a dozen retailers that have decided to charter ships to bring them in. Many of these folks did not have reservations at the ports of Long Beach or Los Angeles, even after they loaded cargo and the vessel began its journey across the Pacific. A lot of those folks are waiting for vessel space that had been normally taken up by our regular callers.
So all of these retailers, like the Home Depots, the Targets, the Walmarts, who have gone and gotten their own ships, have these things coming in, think they're getting the product, but they never had a reservation at the port, so they are put at the back of the line?
In many cases, they're calling to try to make those reservations with our private sector marine terminal operators as they come across the Pacific. Very unique, loading containers up, trying to meet factory requirements and then get going. But part and an integral piece of this entire supply chain is making sure you have a windows-based arrival, an appointment here at the port to bring your vessel in, have longshore labor ready to work that ship and go. And with the additional number of new callers that we've had over the last several months, this is something that's been very interesting to watch. We're trying to hustle these folks in wherever we have a gap in time, which is few and far between, to get those vessels worked as well. But they make up 50 ships that are sitting at anchor, and they tend to be relatively smaller in size.
Is that a less efficient way of doing things because they're smaller?
It's a less efficient way if you come across the Pacific and you don't have a place to call home. With smaller vessels in size, they can be more nimble. If we do have that window of opportunity, those ships can be worked pretty quickly.
But is it fair to consider it a big concern that many of those retailers that thought they were going to be able to fill the store shelves will not by this holiday season?
No, because what we had seen, Becky, and as I've shared with you previously, is a lot of these importers were very savvy. They saw the lead times expanding and decided to bring cargo in earlier, pull their inventories forward. We began to see Christmas goods coming across the docks back in the latter half of June. Normally, that takes place late August, early September. So I think we've got a chance as an industry to push product out and have it in place in time for the holidays. But again, as we've told shoppers before, go online a little bit early, go to your store maybe a little earlier than normal, and see what you need to do to make sure that your friends and family have gifts for the holidays.
Gene, thanks for the update.